Well, I took an Orion 7 OG hybrid one last time. I was able to take the 7 Express for the first time in my life, so now I can finally head back to Staten Island. And I'm going back so early that it's not even noon and the SIM4C wasn't running, so that's why I'm on the SIM1C, and then from there I'm going to take the select bus service back to Staten Island Mall to get my car and head back home. And I don't mind taking the SIM1C. It's just us when I got off the N train in my previous trip, I realized that I missed the chance to take an MCICT from Charleston because I've taken the ones from Castleton a few times, honestly before the pandemic, but it would have been nice to take one of the ones from Charleston since they're newer. Now, I'm happy to say that the day that I went to take the Orion 7 OG hybrid, it was primarily an uneventful day, at least from my perspective, because this occurred the Friday before the shooting incident that took place at the 36th Street subway station in Brooklyn. In that encounter, a smoke bomb went off on approaching N train to the subway station, and then shooting started to occur, which caused many to evacuate. Thankfully, throughout this entire incident, no one was killed. And that's the thing that I'm the most happy for, that no one was killed. And not to mention, the shooter was eventually detained. Now, if you're going to make references to this incident, I encourage everyone to please be respectful in the comments. And I worked on this recording a week before I planned to take the trip to Flushing Meadows, Corona Park, and this was before a lot of things that may have occurred on that day in particular. Yet, I'll just say this. It's sad that there's been an increase in the amount of violence, not just in New York City, but throughout the entire world. For instance, I know friends who know of individuals that are in the war-torn areas of Ukraine, and I also know of some friends who are aware of what's going on in Russia, for instance. So sadly, there is a lot of violence going on in the world, and the fact that it's affecting us locally, it actually makes me wonder, like, what's going to happen with upcoming videos. Well, prior to all the things that are going on in the world for right now, I've always tried to do my best to be safe when it comes to certain things. Like, you don't know this, but when I take the bus or the subway, I always look around. Even when I'm bus fanning or rail fanning, I look around to make sure that no one is trying anything funny, so to speak. I try to be careful, and admittedly, I'm saying this out of ignorance, and it's because admittedly, if I've gone through something traumatic while I'm in the middle of bus fanning or rail fanning, I don't know how I would be afterwards. So I said all that to say that I still plan to go to Flushing Meadows. I still plan to go to the George Washington Bridge bus terminal and many other places that I have in mind. And I'm sure many other bus fanners like Lewis, Shane, Brian, which is Sonic 57053, and many others still plan to bus fan or rail fan regardless. Although admittedly, because of the 36th Street subway incident and other incidents that may have occurred or may occur at some point, may encourage both the subway and the federal government to take necessary precautions to be safe. And the reality is that may affect us who sincerely enjoy catching buses and trains for YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or whatever. So while this may be an unfortunate case that may affect we who encourage bus fanning and rail fanning, we still need to do our best to cooperate with whatever the government or whoever else may agree. And that's all I just wanted to mention. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments.